Finally, time to take a good look back on the LP we literally just did. But you know what? It's nice to go over all the bonus extras you got from committing to getting all the scans as well as actually finding all the items. I mean, for those that are really dedicated to doing everything in the game, it'll feel the most reward actually getting to look at all the depth that went into it, right? So welcome everybody to the bonus episode for Let's Play Metroid Prime Remastered. This is your host, the MJ406, and all that's left for us is just go over the extras we unlocked. There's a lot of stuff in extras. The thing you unlock stuff as you did scan logs in the game, so, you know, may as well see all the stuff we've unlocked here. See all the love and care that went into this game. Yep, I unlocked everything. Good. Okay. Now, let's start with the soundtrack gallery. Yep. You're going to hear all the music that went into this game. Which, you know, there's some plenty of classic tracks in this. Parasite Queen theme is one that people know well because, of course, Town Overworld Revisited. That's another good one. The fact they basically, once you get past starters, they're like, yep, now things are getting more serious. It's weird, it's like one of the only places that actually has a theme that's changed as you go through it. Shozo Ruins. I mean, you know, there's a lot of ambiance because, of course, it's something that fits a series like this well. Hive Mecha. The fact that that boss had its own theme, like your second major boss in the whole game had its own theme. They really set that thing up well. Flogger didn't really have much of one, but at least it was there. Actual battle themes, you're forced into fighting certain creatures. Like when you're trapped in the friggin' room and fighting a bunch of beetles at once. Magmore Caverns, a fun remix of another theme from Super Metroid. That was for the depths of, I'm trying to remember the name of the place. It's where you went to fight Ridley towards the end of Super Metroid. I wish I remember the region's name. But yeah, that was good. Phaedrana Drifts, the wonderful icy locale that it was. Phaedrana Secrets. I'll say, that's not the, I'll say, that wasn't the other part of Phaedrana, was it? No, that was something else. Phaedrana Battle. That's what that theme was? Okay. I was curious about that. Thardis. The fact that they had a friggin' Phazon-controlled pile of rocks that the space parts actually did themselves is weird. Crash Ship. Another fun underwater theme. You know, it is one of the weaker parts of the game, but it's still enjoyable despite all that. The music is amazing. Space Pirates have their own theme that came about mostly because of this game. I was saying, this had like general combat themes in Super Metroid, but they had their own actual battle theme. Somehow they nailed the music so well with this. Phazon Mines, its mysterious nature. Ah yes, the battle music or the friggin' Shozo Ghosts. Why you're showing friggin' Fission Metroids instead, I don't know, because I've never heard that music when you're battling Fission Metroids. Omega Pyrex, of course. Why do they make him so red? It's just the color of the photo, don't worry about it. Being at the Shozo Shrine, Matt Ridley having his own theme. Basically a nice modern rendition of the Ridley battle theme you got to hear from friggin' Super Metroid. Like, man, they really brought a lot of the fun Super Metroid staples and just made them still work. Metroid Prime, still weird how you're a Metroid since you don't really absorb anything. Yeah, the fact that other Metroids absorb stuff and this one doesn't just feels weird. I don't know. And Metroid Prime Core, because of course. It's nice you do have the whole soundtrack to listen to in here. And the credits, because of course. The victory at Samus appears. Ah, right, reloading the game, of course. Okay, they don't let you continue listening to music outside of it, yeah. I may as well go over all the art gallery stuff. Ah, they have the original works as well as the remastered works. Oh, neat. Okay. I guess the remastered ones, I wonder if you got that from something else. Yep. Now we can go over all the artwork that made this game so special. I mean, man. Oh, God. I do love the designs for Samus. Like, dude, the very suit Samus has, like, always been one of my favorites. My favorite designs for a character ever. I mean, yeah. Everybody needs to remember there's a lot of design that goes into this. Had to actually, you know, create the assets for making a character work and look the way they want, having to basically... The fact they try to make it feel, like, very real really helps. You know, add to it for a game like this to make Samus feel human. You have her standard power suit version there, along with her various suit upgrade. The one that's basically stuck around since Metroid 2, Return of Samus. Because, of course, even the arm cannon got its nice visual overhaul. I do love seeing her arm cannon change. The fact it changes forms for different beams is also a nice touch, I gotta say. I do love that visual touch. And some nice rough sketches of her in action, doing certain things. You know, that does look like a different Samus character, but we're not going to talk about that. A lot of it looks like a different Samus character. We're not going to talk about that yet. But yeah, this is still an amazing classic amongst the Metroid series. I still love this game, because of course... And there's the original look that Samus Aran had in the original Metroid Prime. Certainly rougher, but that's what the GameCube's graphics could handle at the time. And of course, you got the biology for certain enemies, such as Metroids. I guess they had some other design ideas. I guess they were thinking of doing Mocktroids at one point. I guess kind of like a baby form of what they had in 2, maybe. I guess it was something from being around in Fusion. That was something, Fusion was being developed basically this time as well. Parasite Queen, the frickin' Puffers. Is that that's not a Stone Toad. I'm trying to think what that is. Looks like, actually, it is a Stone Toad. Never mind, it is. Oh, geez, they got Hydra in there. No. Just had 3 worms in once. I had enough of worms, damn it. Those friggin' lava toad things. You had the creatures that basically absorbed you, the Triclops. Yes, the ones that absorbed you when you were a Morphle, jerks. Are those Shozo? Is that a Shozo with wings? Seriously. Why are they considered like bird creatures if they barely have wings? What do you call that if it's a bird, if it looks bird-like but it doesn't have wings? How is it still a bird? Sounds like a different creature altogether. And I don't claim to understand how the Shozo work. Why would I? I don't know. The weird plant monster, a lot of the war wasps in their many forms. Baby Sheegoth. A lot of the other ice creatures you have to deal with, as well as other parasites. Shriek bats. So I say I hate the ice shriek bat. Is still a one-time scam for the most part. Still very annoying. Alternate idea for a space pirate, I guess. Probably a different idea for advanced trooper they had. I can see a lot of the enemy ideas they had. Not all of them made it into the game. Hunter Metroids. Still the only game that's had like the most variety for like Metroid types. Like Hunter Metroid, the one that has like a freaking like electric attack. Electric range attack is wild, man. I love the variety of a lot of things in this game. It just does feel like a great 3D advancement of what we had from the Metroid series previously. That's why it feels like it works so well. Is that supposed to be a pirate of the Metroid on its back or something? I don't know. Jeez, that fly pirate looks a lot more sinister than what we have. More finalized designs from the enemies, the elite, the pirate elites, Meta Ridley. The fact they decided to make him go metal instead of making it feel like he just came back organically. They actually give a purpose to him, you know, losing and having to be rebuilt to battle Samus again. Instead of applying just the normal game logic, oh, they're back and they're normal, ooh, they actually decided, you know, actual trials had to be done for Ridley to basically be restored so he could actually fight Samus again. It is appreciated they actually went out of their way to think about that. It makes it feel logical. They actually want to have canonical sense in this world. So I respect a lot. Oh god, was that an earlier design idea for Ridley? Oh my god! They would have gone a lot harder. I wonder if they design things for Kraid. Oh yeah, I never mentioned that. I forgot. I forgot to bring that up. I was kind of hoping that maybe the remaster would bring that in, but nah. They kept it very faithful, which is fair. Let's go over the world stuff. I'll go over the remastered stuff next. Yep. You can always zoom into this to look at all the, you know, storyboarding stuff if you wish. I'll just generally show it to you. You can always pause if you want to take a good look at it. But, yeah, I forgot. The Omega Pirate fight, originally that was apparently supposed to be a fight with a Mecha Kraid, if you will. Yes, apparently they're originally going to have Kraid be there where the Omega Pirate is. And, yeah. Apparently, basically, due to time constraints, they weren't able to get their ideas fully done with it. Apparently, it was still kind of flawed with their work on it. Because of time constraints, they wanted to get the game out before the 2002 holiday season. And, yeah. That's how we got the, Omega Pirate fight. Basically, it was thrown in literally because they could not get Kraid working the way they wanted in a quick and timely manner. Like, I remember the details, what they were supposed to have during that fight. Supposedly, it was going to be like, you know, it was going to be like, he would have, like, he basically would shoot out, like, mechanical spikes, I think, from his stomach, like he normally did. And he had some, like, helmet on, so you couldn't get him in the eye for him to open his mouth, because you remember, his weakness in, you know, the Metroid games was his mouth. Particularly Super Metroid Zero Mission. You had to shoot him in the mouth in order to actually damage him. They actually came up with a helmet for him to protect him. Oh, wow. A little more detailed design for, like, how they design a facility. More detailed look. The Shozo impact crater site. They really built around it. What a weird thing for them to do. Then again, that's Shozo. Again, don't claim to understand them. They don't always have to make sense. They just do things. And of course, drawing Samus in to help give size to the world. Appreciate it for them to give good perspective on their work. I've got a whole map of basically the whole facility. Neat. Yep, they have the whole thing just mapped out basically like that. Damn. They're able to map it out so simply. There you go, storyboarding. Of course, got all the storyboard stuff. I'm at least trying to zoom around and stay on for a little bit in case you guys want to pause it and read it. I try to be generous. I'll at least show you a glance, but if anyone wants to take the time to actually fully read it themselves, they can. I just, you know, I'll leave it there, then you can pause and read to your own leisure, if you wish. But, yeah. I think it's basically with the Kraid fight, you're supposed to get the helmet off at some point. And then basically you'd be able to fight Kraid normally. That's why they had those overarching areas in that room as well. I suppose that's where Kraid was being held. And then, oh yeah, even the thing of the scene of the basically crazy Metroid Prime trying to absorb Samus. Right. A lot of it on that, because of course, the big important thing that'll show up later in the series. For those of you who don't know, you should go watch Metroid Prime 2 or play it. I already did all the Prime trilogy on my channel. I did Prime 1 3 times, I did Prime 2 twice. Makes me wonder if I should do Prime 3 again, but I think I'm better off just doing Prime 4 next. Maybe I'll revisit Prime 3 another time. I'll think about it. But, yeah. Basically, it'd be up there, basically get the helmet off of Kraid so you can basically kill it as normal. The fact they had thought about it, bringing Kraid along, is kind of nice. It does feel like it's supposed to be a minor boss. This game was going to turn into a major one. It could have been cool. Part of me had like the slight hope that the remaster would have actually brought that to us. That would have been awesome. Yeah, they originally thought of teasing at the end. Basically teasing their sequel they were making. But yeah, it would have been cool to see it. Anyway, Biology Remastered! I can see a lot of the retooled works, a lot of the things they did to help, remaster the game to give us some of the better visual design we got to see in this game compared to the GameCube counterpart. You know, I usually do complain about remasters, but, you know, it's only the remaster game that's, like, from so recently. It feels like something so many developers are willing to do. Just frickin', you know, take a game that was great one generation, literally the beginning of the next. It's like, okay, here's a visual upgrade. It's like, what the fuck? And you treat it as a brand new game. You know, for all the rough patches the Switch 2 launch had with, you know, its pricing and stuff, at the very least, you know, the visual upgrades were only for an upgrade pack. You'd have to pay, like, the entirety of the game unless you never owned it before. And, well, oh god, Shoujo Ghosts. You know, some of them still got free performance upgrades. Instead of just literally being, okay, here's this game again before the, you know, stronger console. Admittedly, there felt like there would have been one or two that were like that, but, you know. At least not all of them are like that. It's something I hate as a modern gaming trend. Basically, remastering a game that's so recent. Remastering a game that's very recent. Just be like, oh, okay, here's a way for us to sell more of it. It'll perform and look better, maybe. But it could be broken. You'll have to gamble and find out. See if this beloved classic holds up as well as you think it did. Yeah, a lot of modern gaming is annoying me with some of the remaster treatment with that stuff. And well, Nintendo has been jumping on that with a lot of the GameCube stuff. At least this one was done very respectfully, and thankfully this one was not released at full price for a game. Very appreciated. And that's why this is definitely one of the better of Nintendo's remasters. It basically treated the game as if it was that way, just gave it a strong visual uplift, and freaking, you know, made a few minor improvements. What a remaster should be. Improving the visuals, trying to reimagine basically what the game would look like with modern technology, but still keep the great game at its core and not really, like, you know, ruining it. Or trying to, like, vastly change it into something unrecognizable. They respect the source material, which is appreciated. Huh. They had a helmet over that one space pirate? That's weird. I was trying to make that whole friggin'... I guess they were thinking about making the friggin' flying pirates fully mechanical. See, it has some different visual design upgrades they might have been thinking about doing for, you know, potential differences compared to the original version. They could have vastly changed some of the visual design for some of these characters. I mean, Omega Pirates, like Omega Pirate, you actually see like he has an actual like face now. It looks like he wears a lot of armor. Definitely different from what the original Omega Pirate looked like. I mean, yeah. I just wish the remasters didn't feel like they were bastardizing us for liking a game of the past and friggin' basically trying to take advantage of us. Saying, you'll buy this game again at full price, because screw you. Ugh. I mean, thankfully, a lot of them that had been doing that have basically been, at least for Sony's Nintendo end, just charging an upgrade fee. But some companies will basically be like, oh no, you gotta pay the whole game again. Your version's outdated, you gotta buy the new version if you want it. Might be discounted. The fact you're making me pay for the entirety of that is fucked up, especially if it was from 1 generation ago. Like, man, I don't mind if the remaster games that are old like this. Remasters and remakes of games that are a lot older makes a lot more sense. And it helps revitalize my love for these games as a whole. Ah, Metroid Prime Trilogy, I do love you. And the new updated face they have for Samus. I guess it's more in line. A more, I guess, realistic interpretation of what her, of herself from, I guess they adapted from the 2D games. Let's go with that. And the World Remaster. You get to see a lot of the world crafting they did with modern technology. Oh, man. I wish I could get rid of all this UI stuff. I really wish I could. It's still good, but man, that's a little pet peeve I have with this right now. I wish I could get rid of the UI for this. It's nice to get to appreciate a lot of the strong visual detail here, though. Wow, they really worked hard on the friggin' space pirate friggin' Orpheon. There's a lot of detail to go into there. But yep, I'll say it again. The original Metroid Prime is still one of my favorite all-time video games. I just love the exploration of this game. I love how much fun you get to have just, yeah, exploring the world. It's such a fun, beautiful game to go through. The combat's fun. With the beam swapping and all the powers you get are interesting. They brought back the Spider Ball from Metroid 2, which felt kind of, you know, obscure. And they managed to make it work in 3D setting. Honestly, it feels like it works better for 3D than it does for 2D. Although, Samus Returns managed to make it work well in its own way. I feel like it fits the 3D games a lot more. And they improve it in the later games of the trilogy. But, yep. It's amazing they took a classic like Super Metroid and managed to adapt it to 3D so well. Expanding on the lore. Managed to make all the, like, classic Metroid mechanics how it works. Like, even shooting through doors. There's still the loading of doors that could be a pain in the ass. Nice T-pose. It's certainly one of the Nintendo GameCube's greatest games. Like, I still think, if I had to think my favorite GameCube game, it's still the original Metroid Prime. It just, it's one of the things that started to bring Metroid a little more to the mainstream in North America, at the very least. At least in regards to, you know, Nintendo games. Because perhaps most people just think of freaking Mario and Zelda. Some people now, Animal Crossing. Mario Kart, if you want to call that. Pokemon. It's not technically fully Nintendo, but it may as well be. Metroid's definitely still in the niche, along with the likes of Pikmin. And, well, Splatoon's kind of more mainstream than Metroid is now, which is upsetting to me, honestly. Like, honestly, I'm surprised people like this less than Zelda. Well, Zelda has been very experimental. People do love the fantasy setting, you know. The games they had in the classic times were friggin' bangers, where Metroid games were a lot more niche. Basically having one major game every platform, and not like 2 or 3. Well, then again, Zelda was like that too. Actually, they all were. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Either way, this continues to be a series I wish would get more and more recognition. Because, yeah, it's one of those series that, you know, it's owned by a Japanese company, but it's one of those things, it's like, the friggin' country of origin for that company is not a massive fan base for these games, so they don't exactly see the appeal in it all the time. I guess it's similar with F-Zero as well. Oh yeah, at least this is more, you know, mainstream than F-Zero. At least now Switch 2, you can play every single mainline F-Zero game on there, which is crazy. Pretty much every single one is available on Switch 2. Oh man, look at the water detail, it's nice. Still, it's a series I always wish I could introduce other gaming friends of mine into. It's like, everybody who says that Nintendo games are like all for kids and stuff, you have a game like this that definitely feels a lot more like what a lot of other, you know, hardcore Xbox and PlayStation 2 games were at the time. It's definitely outside of, you know, the typical Nintendo flair that you would get. That's why I love it. It feels like the quality of typical Nintendo games, but doesn't feel like the typical personality of a Nintendo game, you know? It's nice to have the hardcore contrast. And it's good that Nintendo actually embraces that a bit. As they should. Being branded in the early GameCube times as just the gaming company for kids definitely hurt them. This is a game that got better promotion. Definitely would help, you know, get people to realize, oh yeah, I guess they do just have a lot of games in general. You never know what you're going to get out of them. That's what makes Nintendo last so long in the industry, as a big, you know, pioneer in the industry. The massive amount of games they have, well, there can be a lot to it. Oh, character gallery. Oh, cool. You actually get like a nice little, good little visual of some of these that are 3D models. That's kind of neat. You can see the underside. Good. It's like looking at the freaking Smash Bros. Melee trophies. Another classic GameCube game. Who doesn't love the trophies from freaking Super Smash Bros? Various suits. Oh, look at you, my baby. Look at you. Such a nice, sleek design. I love it. The gravity suit. Oh, nice to give you the wave beam to complement your suit color. It actually makes sense for that model. And yeah, somehow the Switch, this still manages to be one of the best looking Switch 1 games. Like, man. Retro Studios always manage to do such a good job when it comes to their graphical capabilities. Like, man. The Donkey Kong Country games also look pretty good on their respective hardware as well. But yeah, despite the many great graphical games we had, like, this managed to be one of the best looking games on the Switch 1. And it still runs at its most pretty much perfectly smooth 60 frames per second. Not perfect 1080p, but you know what? The fact it manages to pull it off the way it does. Oh, so good. Auto turn, huh? Did it just... Oh, cool. It even turns red when you look into it. That's awesome. That is cool. The fact they actually have interactive elements in some of this is actually pretty sweet. Injured space pirates. The fact these aren't just like still images, but they're also like actual like models. And they actually feel alive. They have some of the actual visual effects in there. I do like the attention to detail just with these alone. It's pretty cool. But not all of them are going to be like that, because some of them are just pretty simple. Why does even these have nice attention to detail? This was literally just a parasite queen. You get rid of that physical shield, this is basically what you were seeing. Just hanging out in between friggin' two rings for some reason. The beetle, classic freaking noob enemy. War wasp, another classic noob enemy. Oh wow. I never realized it had like a face. Well, it gives you time to actually appreciate some of the models of some of these things. Incinerator drone. In fact, you even have a model is weird. And yeah, the fact it was just a basic little fucking fire robot was a boss is weird. Hive mecha. Oh god, I didn't realize it had more faces underneath. Huh. Neat. That's kind of hidden in the waters. You don't really see that well. Plated beetle. Another fun friggin' mini boss. Blow off its friggin' thorax. It's done. Flogra. Still one of the weirder bosses of this game. Basically burn it with sunlight and then bomb its core. Still feels odd. The Geemer. As a nice reminder, they're the ones with the red shells that basically shoot the spikes out. Either a plasma beam or a missile to kill them. Shozo ghosts. Oh. And again, like the lingering will of the Shozo don't recognize Samus. I hate that in a lot of the games that says they should be helping Samus. Like, it feels like they have a will of their own, and yet it's like such a mindless will. It's literally just a pure defense. And it's like, oh, that's something I don't recognize. It must die. Damn, nice golden eye with Sheegoth, though. Ooh, you can even see like some of the muscles around like the above the jaw there. Ooh, neat. I'm always somebody who likes to appreciate a lot of the visual detail in a lot of these games. Like, man, ooh, even the glowing spot from his weaknesses. Neat. Oh, Mega Turret. Yeah, you're gonna shoot me too. I was like, what if I look at it long enough and it decides to kill me? Nah. It wouldn't be that crazy. Space Pirates. Actually, a full force and not the injured kind you got to see on friggin' the Space Pirate Frigate. And the Elemental Troopers. They all four of them in nice poses as well. Still weird, this is one of the only games that has the beam switching thing that, like, really matter with combat. It feels like it is with Prime 2 as well. It feels a lot more gimmicky. You don't really need it as much. Then again, the whole ammo system basically throws out the window, damn it. Ugh. Still hate the ammo system from Prime 2. You know how to work along the weapons? They can be very broken, but the fact the ammo system's a thing is just annoying. And the Omega Pirate. Still one of the most devastating adversaries in this game. Although if it weren't for you, we could have had Kraid. Then again, they didn't want the game to take an eternity trying to... They basically did an oversized elite pirate to save themselves time. That's how that worked. Ooh, I like they showed the cloaking for the Shadow Pirate. Because their cloaks go in and out. When they attack, they basically go out of their cloak altogether. Oh man, how's it taste? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't try to find out how they taste either. Okay, they made them a lot less, like, robotic, but they do have a lot of gear on them. I'll say, do you blink? Oh yeah, their eyes, like, light up. I guess it's a helmet. Aqua Pirate, basically the same as a Flying Pirate, just for water. Phazon Elite. Where they show this, you only fight one of these, and it's for a frickin' Shozo artifact. I mean, yeah, basically it's an enemy, though. Meadow Ridley. Oh, man. Still crazy. I guess they could assume later in the series with Ridley, they advanced their, you know, enhancements of Ridley better, so he looks a lot more like his organic self. Despite still being most mechanical, I guess. The Metroids, I see we have the fission types there. Because of course we do. And one inside that tube for some reason. Oh yeah, I guess because that was the first one we ran into. Hunter Metroid. That those long tentacles are shocking. It's crazy. And they don't... And they do, I guess, absorb you through that, technically. Yeah, I was going to say they didn't absorb you. Yeah, they do. Just not the traditional, you know, face hugger way. That's all. And Metroid Prime. Of course. Seriously, how do we get a Metroid to basically become an arthropod like this? What the hell, man? How many legs does it have anyway? I see 7. Oh, it got 8 legs. It has 7. That's even weirder, man. Unless you want to say one of the legs is its head, which wouldn't make sense at all. Jeez. That thing mutated beyond all reason. And, of course, Metroid Prime Core. It's basically a mother brain. I'm still curious if they want to try to link that to Shozo somehow. You know, not knowing they created this thing. That's starting to become my theory. There we go. It's all those. Okay, they save you actually looking at everything. I was going to say, I want to check one thing real quick. Okay, they do. Yeah, they have the control schemes, yeah. Yeah, definitely play dual stick, by the way. Always play dual stick. Oh, yeah, they do have the color assist if you need it. Which is nice for those of you that may be colorblind in certain ways. One of the only Nintendo games that actually thinks about that. Depending on how much they focus on color and stuff in a lot of games, I guess it makes sense. So I was going to say, okay, no more difficulty unlocks. Ah, damn it, I didn't want to go to normal. Hold on! Damn it. Oh, well. Okay, so they did get rid of the fusion suit stuff from this version of the game. That's a shame. Now, see, that was a nice bonus that in the original GameCube version, if you linked it with Metroid Fusion, basically you can have the fusion suit and all its variants be Samus in this game. Where I think if you connected Metroid, if you connected the Game Boy Advance into, while playing Metroid Prime, you basically have the original Metroid to play automatically on your Game Boy Advance. It was kind of cool. As well as ZL hold on targets, yeah. Lock on to targets, whatever. Yep. The fact there's no fusion suit in this game is disappointing. Because in Prime Trilogy, they let you unlock it as soon as you beat the main game once. It was a nice unlockable to have, basically give you different visual flair. But, well... Oh yeah, when I was going over my thoughts of Metroid Prime Remastered, I technically never went over it compared to the original version. Like, you know... While part of me wants to say it is the ideal way to play the original Metroid Prime, as an avid fan of the original, there are certainly some things that definitely feel a little off in comparison. Like, don't get me wrong, the visual design is great, the game still plays a lot like it used to. I feel like there are a few little glitches that kind of go under the radar. Like, what was the big one? Like Thardis. It seemed like when I was, like, not fighting him properly, after a while, it just seemed like his body parts just kept breaking out in their first phase, and then I could just hit him in normal visor. It's like something got screwed up with the program from Thardis. I did recognize that. I thought it was weird. There are little visual distinctions that, you know, they are more modernized, but I don't know. Something made me like the flashiness a little more in the original versions of the game. And I know one of the visual designers did make a comment on how, you know, he, like, said he, like, worked months on, like, how they did, like, the lighting for the doors, and it wasn't quite how it was in the original game. He personally thought it was not as impressive for the remaster. Like, yeah, there's a few little kinks here or there. But the thing that puts it above it, though, is the control schemes. The fact you play the GameCube way, the Wii way, the new way with the dual sticks, as well as, they have a hybrid that kind of, I have to look at the hybrid control scheme, but, yeah, having the many different control options certainly helps this game, you know. It gives a lot of different ways to play, that's why it's appreciated. And hey, we got mouse controls for Prime 4, so, you know. It's nice to see they were really thinking about that. The hybrid combines the classic control scheme with motion controls for aiming. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. But yeah, pointer is basically playing like Prime Trilogy. I still say accuracy-wise, it's probably the best way to do it. The dual stick going to use a standard controller, though, is definitely a good way to go. I'll admit, though, having to hold a button to be able to swap between either the beams or the visors is a little annoying. So while I still personally would say that the pointer controls in Prime Trilogy are still the best way to play Metroid Prime 1 through 3. You know, It's just because I got so used to it. But honestly, the motion controls just feel so fluid in a first-person game like this. It makes sense. Still, stick controls work. It's just having to hold a button to swap between either your visors or your beams, pick one or the other, is kind of annoying. And, you know, having classic GameCube controllers, I'll say it again. Please don't play the classic GameCube controls. Otherwise, you have to rely very much on lock-on. It would get rid of that button problem of having to switch between, you know, beams and visors, because one stick would swap beams, and then the D-pad would swap the visors. Yeah, something like that. Or the way around, you can reverse it because of the customization options you have. But, yeah, I just feel like classic controllers are the worst. Just a nice reminder, you can't free aim unless you're standing still in the GameCube version. That's why you must rely on lock-on if you're going to play the GameCube controls. If you try to do the GameCube version without lock-on, that's a nightmare, man. That's a nightmare. That's why I wouldn't want to do that myself. That's why this version and the Prime Trilogy versions I can do without lock-on, because the free aim capabilities make it feel right, damn it. And it just works. But yeah, there's a few issues I've noticed as an avid fan of the first game. That doesn't detract from how fun a game this still is. While it may not be 100% ideal, it's still probably overall the best version of this game to play. Just because of the increased visual flair, as well as, oh yeah, you got Spring Ball that came from Prime Trilogy. It's nice they kept that too. I just love this game offers, and, well, it's definitely one of my biggest recommendations. For a Nintendo game for people that want to play something that's not typical Nintendo knowledge, like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, etc., etc. Sounds a great time. Alright, well, that's all for Metroid Prime Remastered. Thank you all for watching. We have to go over all the art gallery stuff to see the beauty that was in this world. So what's next for my channel? Well, funny thing is, like, every single project I have is ending right now, except Ninja Gaiden Black, because that freaking stupid Eternal Legend mission went on longer than I thought it would. Damn it. Thought it was going to be a one-episode thing for that. No, it turned into friggin', it's going to be a third now. Man. So that's going to be ending a week after everything else has already ended. Man, I was so close to having another freaking opportunity for a bunch of projects to start at the same time. And yet, I don't like to take a day off. So yes, tomorrow, the project after Pokemon Fire Red is debuting. And, well, Mario Party Top 100 also ended yesterday. So, new project airing after that. And I have a new project for this schedule, of course, as is always the case. For Saturday and Sunday, like I stated when I did Mario Party Top 100 and its finale, my plan is, I'm basically going to have, like, I guess 2 marathons, you want to call it that, kind of going side by side. The weekdays, Monday through Friday, will have 2 different games of a similar franchise or character, whatever. Saturday and Sunday, well, my plan is basically to highlight a certain character and 2 of his different kinds of games. The one on Sundays is definitely going to be longer than the one on Saturdays. I just feel it would be nice to briefly show off some other things. Besides, one of the games somebody had requested from me previously, so figured I may as well do it. I kind of wanted to do it too. So yeah, it's going to be a weird endeavor for me, but I'm going to see how it goes. Also, the game I'm playing for Sunday is Blind, so that'll also be fun. Even though I know the series, I technically played the game, but I was a kid and I never got far in it. Honestly, I'm wondering how I'm going to end up doing it. The franchise I haven't done for the channel in like a couple of years, so I guess it'll be fun to hop back into it. But yep, it's nice to have everything starting fresh. But yes, in regards to the next Metroid game I'll do on my channel, it's probably going to be Prime 4. At least a year down the line, I'm probably going to get to Prime 4. I mean, I can leave a replay of Prime 3 for debate as well. Because I had a lot of Metroid games early on my channel. I would like to update some of those, but, you know, the only ones I really haven't, that I really wanted to, are Super Metroid, Prime 3, and debatably Other M, but Other M probably would be the last of those if I was going to redo them. And Fusion, I guess, as well. I would want to redo a lot of these, but Prime 1, you can finally take a break. I got to show my love for you for the 3rd time now. I don't need to do it again. Please play this game, damn it. This series is amazing, and this game is truly a classic amongst Nintendo games. So, until next time, my channel, guys, we'll probably come back to Prime 4 at some point in the future. Until then, see you next time.